Om. Namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang today here at Mooji Sangha Bhavan. Nice to be here again. After being away in London for some time, it's very nice to be here again. So, many new faces, that's also nice too. Okay. Everybody is familiar with the subject discussed here? Normally, everyone? We're not, you see. I have to ask this because, in a way, it can seem like the most unusual subject. In the sense that most inquiries which stimulate, explorations into knowledge and so on, are usually about, in some objective sense, it's something, a study of objective phenomena like something outside, like space or objects or plants but here it's about your own self. In this way it seems unusual because it's without really knowing, not just knowing intellectually, but knowing and being yourself in the most profound way. Any subsequent knowledge not sourced in real self-knowledge, I don't see it to be true knowledge. First, one must know one's own being, one's own self. We will see as we talk. I don't want to explain things too much. I'm not too much into teaching in the classical sense of the word teaching, because it's normally the mind that learns. And we're here more really for discovering more than for learning. And I don't know if you appreciate the difference. Learning is what normally we are comfortable with, because when we study something, we have a sense that we know it. But here we are not studying anything outside of what you know to be your own self. So we'll see how it goes. Nature has a way of unfolding this. I don't have to have any strategy. I have no strategy. And I have not planned ahead of time what I'm going to talk about in any specific way. It will have to show itself. And satsang is very much like that, that we come to life in this sense without preparing any strategy for living. To meet life as spontaneity. If you don't, if we have to rehearse the way in which we move in life, you are already late. You're already out of sync. And we will always be afraid of life, because it will always be fresher than you are. You see? So, let's go. Somebody want to come? Please, you come. Thank you. This clock says 4:15. I think it's very speedy, no? Usually time goes like this when you're having fun. Very good.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste, very good.
I have come with a purpose today.
Yes, you can hear? Is this microphone?
Is it?
We can hear over there? Oh, so we need to have a bit more power? Please, carry on.
I came with a purpose,
Yes.
and it concerns my sense of self-importance.
Self-importance.
And I had, let's say, a bout with my self-importance after the silent retreat in Simar,
Yeah.
which was very good and for me. And nevertheless, there was some circumstances in it by which I felt ignored, rejected, and then there developed in me something that I could not stand, the fact that I could not make it disappear, my feeling of being ignored. And I became very concentrated on that and on the whole history of my self-importance. And then there came a moment that I saw that my whole life, from child on, has been organized around this sensitivity, this ego. And so I saw that it was the main factor in a screen which has always prevented me from being in a direct contact with life and with being.
I'm very happy, to start in such an honest way and so much something which is at the very core of life, human life. No? You brought some subject from the very first few words, the sense of self-importance and how much energy is spent around self-importance. You mentioned that in the retreat in Zimar, an encounter took place where you felt ignored, and it creates a kind of turbulence, some sort of, it's like a sense of being rejected even, because the mind is quick to exaggerate these effects as well too. And then somehow we're in some kind of turmoil and something just wants to know. But you were able to observe that, to observe and come to a recognition of how much of your own life has revolved around self-importance. And I feel that this topic is very alive here also, isn't it? Because it's one of the singularly most important aspects of our life that sucks so much energy, takes so much energy. Yeah. All problems actually are personal. The minute you are living life at intensely personal dimension, you are in a struggle already. If you want to come, you just come and find a place to sit. Don't think too much. And this thing, please pay attention to this. This thing about self-importance, or the sort of psychological self-centeredness, if you follow what I mean by this, where we are constantly in a way watchful of our behavior and our connection with other beings and how it impacts, and something is really working to try and make an impression, a good impression, to not look a fool, that the people may want to see you again and all that. It's a tremendous amount of energy. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to sustain being a person. It takes no energy to be yourself. Therefore, it should be of the highest importance for human being to try and find a way out of this struggle, a way to return to that natural sense whereby we are out of that sense of vulnerability, because most people, we have a certain sense of vulnerability that's based not because you're going to go outside and a lion is going to eat you or nothing like that. We're not afraid of that. We're afraid that another human being might see through our defenses and stick you in some place it hurts or something like that. And so much is it's important, and I'm so happy that you brought this subject up, because it takes up so much energy that often the more important subject is left aside because it commands so much energy, is busy in this field of self-importance and so on. So very often what I am trying to point to gets pushed to the back because self-importance comes to the front. The ego has been insulted. The ego has been challenged. And it doesn't like it. And I don't like you. And all this type of stuff can come. So because you brought it up, I'm very happy. So that we can look at it. When someone like yourself come forward and you bring, and you put it on the table, this is something that has disturbed me. And not just disturbed me now. You yourself say, all my life, since childhood, I am being troubled by this psychological identity of being a person and how I'm doing, and if I'm ignored and if I'm not important, I feel rejected and all of this stuff, and how much energy it has taken from us. Let's say like that. Now you say, you want to go beyond this. Is it possible?
Yeah. When I saw it in its full impact,
Yes.
and how it has been the organizing principle of all my life, I became small, and I saw you, and I felt your presence, and I felt an enormous love emanating from you, and I felt then that is how my self-importance can melt by your love.
Yes.
So I am so grateful to you.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is also because the one who sees you as you truly are, because the one who is suffering from self-importance is not your final state. It's not your true nature, you see. It is the kind of psychological identity which the consciousness that we are wears this psychological identity while it is living in a self-portrait of itself as a person. A person is also a form of consciousness, but it is a limited form of consciousness. It has a lot of psychological energy and pressure in it. And consciousness enjoys some aspects of being an individual, autonomous person for a while. It loves the sense of individuality and of secrecy, and it loves the feeling of transcending and being important and all of these things. But it also suffers it. And it comes to a stage where you have had enough of that. You have really felt the bite of it. You have felt the bite of it, and you say, no, I don't want. I don't want. Who is the one who says, I don't want? It is the consciousness which is temporarily under some state of hypnosis when it believes and lives in the form of being just a person. You see? Now, a great sage, Ramana Maharshi, he says something very powerful in this respect. He says, the I, the sense I am, the I removes the I, yet remains the I. But paradox. The I removes I, yet remains I, means the natural sense I am, which points to consciousness. When you say I, it's indicative of consciousness. And consciousness is not a person, it's not a male or a female. It has no specifics like that. This dynamic consciousness, the sense I or I am, also referred to as the divinity within yourself, the godly principle inside the farm that feels I. The I removes the I. What I does I remove? It removes the ego sense. When it removes the ego psychological identity, again it shines only as the sense I or I am. Unassociated presence like that. I don't know if you grasp what the simplicity and yet the profundity of that statement, you see. You have come to a point, you say, I see that this me has been arranging somehow my life. This I It's been arranging, it's been a central principle that's been arranging my life around some sort of psychological attention and identity like that. The fact that it can be perceived, and this is very important, but often overlooked, the fact that something can be perceived, that you are aware of it, implies that you cannot be it. The fact that you can observe something means that it is, for you, it is some phenomenon. It is something, it's an appearance. It is something that comes and goes. You are the witness of the coming and going, of the appearing and the disappearing. You see, you cannot be it because you were here before this tendency introduced itself. You are here to watch its play, and you are here to watch its disappearance. If you were this, then when it disappeared, you would also disappear. But you witnessed the disappearance of it. We must stop and acknowledge this over and over again. Keep confirming that this is so. Because the nature of any illusion is that when it is clearly exposed, it loses its power. You see, mostly we are suffering from not seeing, like something is living in the blind spot of your own being, meaning that somehow you're not able to see something. Then, like this in Satsang, you're seeing, but wait, but that is also observable. If it is observable, what observe it? You see? And you find a new space for yourself. But you didn't create this space, it was always there. You find that there's a space from where even the sense of being this person suffering, that is also seen, like you are watching some effect and feeling it energetically inside this body. So even though it's happening inside this body, it is also perceived. Then from where is it being perceived? Is it from something outside this body? If I ask you something, you may say, yes, I can see it inside. Inside I can look. Outside I can look. Where is the location of that which can perceive inside and outside? And what can it be? What shape can it have? These are questions which, in the beginning, it can seem difficult to grasp what you're looking at, because the mind is not accustomed to this type of question, and also it is not interested in the beginning to look in this way, because it is not willing to participate in any activity that threatens its existence.
It didn't see the value.
It didn't see the value of it.
It was just nothing.
Yes. It does not see the value of this insight. It doesn't want to recognize this place like this. No? That is also seen. Isn't it? The reluctance or the avoidance of some psychological identity to look very clearly into this. The reluctance itself, the avoidance itself is also perceived. By what is it perceived? And merely conceptual answers will not do. You must follow inside. You have a power in you. Nobody tell you about this power, but it's in you to follow all of this, to see where does it take. I use the word, where does it take you? But you're going to find out it is not you that are being taken on a ride, only your attention. You are the witness even of attention, because attention is one of our most powerful tools. wherever the attention goes, we call that our perception and our experience. It is so intimate a tool, a function, that we even call it I. When the attention goes, you say, I go. But something is able to observe attention going off. Sometimes you can say, I cannot keep my attention on this. The attention is going. What is attention going? This is something that rarely is questioned in the human kingdom, because it seems to have no value. Seems to have no value in the corporate world. It has no value in any place. If you are only content on just being a personal entity, it's not necessary to know these things. Something must be driving your life to look a bit more deeply than you have seen so far. You are not creating, you're only going to be discovering. Why discovering? What is already here by itself. It must have taken something for you to bring this out. And what a beautiful sharing. The noise of psychological identity is so loud. I don't want to be with this anymore. I don't want to. It's a kind of suffering. It amounts to kind of suffering, isn't it? And that it has somehow played a role almost in every action, in every situation in my life. This energy, this identity, has claimed some damage, has done some damage there, so to speak. Where do we go from here now? Already we are in the process of inquiring into it. That it is observable. No? Energetically, you feel when the noise is here, something. See, people are. My mind is going crazy. I have a lot of letters from people who feel suicidal. I said, what? Almost at the point where you begin to rediscover the most important discovery in your life, the strongest resistance comes. The strongest resistance is coming, as though something inside us does not want to make this discovery. Suppressed energies, emotions, feelings start to come to the surface, and it feels like I'm being overwhelmed. But you are asked simply, let the feeling be there. Don't identify, simply observe, and remain in this space without defining what you are. Just observe and don't identify. And you'll see that this storm passes. Because what creates and sustains the storm is if you identify, this is happening to me. Rather than this is just happening. The me sense makes things personal and intensifies the impact of your perceiving. And this is something that you can only be reminded of. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't identify. These are powerful urges in the moment, because like reflex, the attention goes to that, to what has happened in the past. You've panicked. And then when you panic, you feel vulnerable, you feel caught up. But it's only a feeling, it is not a truth. This you must know.
But there is no indifference in seeing this. There was a very strong emotion, very strong, lasting emotion. Not lasting. It has intervals, and sometimes it was overwhelming and with a strong desire to surrender.
Yeah.
And next moment it could be totally disappeared.
Yes.
And a kind of sobriety and looking at myself as someone pathetic with this kind of emotion. And next moment the emotion would reappear. And I see this going. And
What is important is that while the seeing of this is taking place, that you remain as detached as you can be in the seeing. Because otherwise you're looking and you're experiencing the sensations in the body, and then something wants to get pulled into some qualitative relationship with this. Like you perceive the sense of being some pathetic being who needs all this attention, needs to be loved and so on. You're looking at this sense of a figure like this, but who is looking at it also? Try to look not only at the pathetic one, but what is looking at this one? Can the one who is observing this one who feels like this, that which is observing that, can that be observed? What is there? That's that. Because clearly it's not the pathetic one. Yeah. So does that have any emotional overtone in it?
a kind of yes, it has an emotion, but a very special emotion, an emotion of gratitude
Of gratitude.
and love,
Yes.
and maybe a kind of not remorse, but a tragic, that that it is so tragic that my whole life has been organized by that, by this
Yes.
self-importance.
So
It
this
has a kind of
my,
tragic.
this my whole life has been organized.
Yeah.
This my also, you see, this my again, it's coming into the person again. You see, it's lifted up, it's risen a bit higher. It's coming out of the swamp, okay, but it still has identity. You see, so this is why something feels a bit tragic. That still, look how much of my life was wasted. But now in this moment, I feel love, and I feel space now. I feel good. But this I also is not consistent. You see. Is it really an entity, or is it not somehow a deep affection and emotional affection arising in consciousness, being given an identity of I? These are subtle things. I don't know if you follow, is it? Because the consciousness is always trying to hold on to some support to be something. It held on to the body and became a person. You see? It is not a person. But now at some point, when it's looked at, this emotional sort of, painful impression of a being, that is seen. But the one who sees also is carrying some of the energy of what it is seeing. It's also feeling remorse and how tragic that so much life has been spent being like this. And because it feels a better place, we're inclined to say, okay, I'll just move into this better place. But is this better place, is it stable, is it?
But it is also gratitude that it is seen.
Yes.
There's also an emotion.
Yes,
It
yes.
feels like a heart
Gratitude
emotion.
is a beautiful emotion.
Yeah.
And the gratitude is a beautiful thing, because the gratitude, it somehow counteracts arrogance. Gratitude and humility will counteract arrogance and the sense of invincibility and pride.
Yes.
If there's gratitude, you see, and it makes way for a deeper understanding to continue.
May I leave my self-importance at your feet?
Yeah. Are you able to?
My attachment to it.
Yeah. Because this is why we can still continue. You who will leave it at my feet, you are what? Try and identify this one who will leave it. At a certain stage, this was fine, and I would say, very good. If you leave it here, this is good. But I have noticed that people leave it here, go and come back for it. Okay? I've seen over and over again. So I don't trust this one. I leave everything here, Mooji. I say, very good, very good. No? And then they go, and then I come and I see them looking around, trying to salvage something that they left. They want it back. So I want to know if this one who can leave something is really the authentic self, you see? Yeah? Even this one who says, I want to leave this, you see? This one, you see? Try and identify who this one is. Just do it now and you can do. Everything I'm speaking about is possible now. You see? We are not speaking about liberation in installments. Right now, there is something that is right here, right now, that let's uncover the whole thing now, if we can. If we stop at the place where you simply surrender something and you go off, it could just be a kind of avoidance also. There's space left to exhaust. Let's take a look. The one who say, can I just leave this with you? You know, who is this thing? Who is this one? Try and find. Is it empty words or does it really exist?
It is someone who hopes to be able to live without the attachment to.
Yes. What perceives this someone entity? Because you are looking, you say, yes, it is someone, something. How do you see it? How did you see this someone who is trying? With what power you see? The someone who is trying to to get out of this, to grow back into itself, which will take time, by the way. There is something that doesn't take time, because time can give nothing to it, nor take anything from it. And it is right here. Everything else is our education. There's something here that is not a construct of time. Time cannot affect it. The other one is the kind of evolutionary identity which we are well trained to accept as what we are. And that is also an expression of consciousness, that which is growing and getting closer and closer. You see? So, if there is something that's growing and getting closer and closer to truth, it must have a reality apart from truth. What would that one be? If there was something called yourself who is growing and becoming closer and closer to the truth, then it must have a reality apart from the truth. It must be improving itself to such an extent that one day it improves so well it is the truth. And I want to see if we can look together to find out, is this truth also? And what really happens? What really happens is that it is the consciousness that is adopted time and change as its costume, as its body, and is growing somehow in terms of becoming more refined. Becoming more refined meaning what? Dropping its coarseness, dropping its pride, dropping its sense of individuality, and and autonomy, dropping its arrogance, dropping its projections, dropping its tendencies to keep on fantasizing about itself. And by dropping it, becoming, it's like peeling the onion, layer, until there's the final layer. After this final layer, we come to the middle of the onion, which is no onion at all. You see, like this, which is another way of saying, did you evolve to this place? No, you kept on, in a way, subtracting what is unreal and find that you found the real. You can do nothing for the real apart from recognizing it. You see, that's one way we can look at this evolutionary movement of a person going closer and closer to the truth. It is also illusory, but it is also a path of consciousness.
There is only now.
What knows that?
Something that sees.
Yes.
And that is itself invisible.
It is invisible.
It is invisible.
It is the invisible inside the visible.
Yes.
The visible cannot see it, but it sees the visible. There is something in that. All that we speak about, the person and the identity and the child and the pain and all of that, let's call that the visible. That which witnesses the visible, is it also visible? This answer should also be in the form of an experience, not just mental, if you're following. In any authentic introspection or exploration into the truth, answers should not merely be conceptual, they must be also experiential. They must remove doubts. They cannot be a learning that needs to be held. They must only reveal the thing which is totally natural, means that it cannot be sustained by some practice. What you are must be that which is effortless and doesn't require any practice to sustain it. But while we have the notion of being a person, the person always needs to do something. And what it wants to do, it wants to become the self, and it wants to remain the self. The self does not want to remain the self any more than space wants to remain space. Can you imagine space having to remember, I'm space, I'm not the wind? Something here is totally, totally natural. It's not trying to be anything. It just is. And something is here that is trying to be many things. But it is not. It only appears. Have I gone too far speaking like this? We're in the same room, on the same page somehow? Okay.
There are no words needed anymore.
Have you come to the end of words?
I think so.
When we have come to the end of words, end of concept, end of thought, same thing, no? End of words, end of thought, end of concepts. Huh? Where are you now then?
I am.
But what?
Direct.
Huh?
There is only directness of being in the now, without any thought in between.
But it must be there whether there are thoughts or not. Otherwise, it only needs a condition. It's saying, as long as thoughts are there, I cannot be fully here. I don't believe that the pure self can admit such a thing. That which is here when thoughts are no more must also be here when thoughts are here. The self cannot move away to make room for thoughts. See how much you appear to lose if you put yourself on such a tight conditioning that, I am fine so long as there's no thoughts. Then who can stop thoughts? So then when thoughts come, you're going to feel, oh my God, it's finished. But you must be here whether there are thoughts or not. Otherwise you give far too much power and importance to thoughts. What happens is that thoughts cannot be here without you. You can be here without thoughts or with thoughts. Because a thought cannot admit its own reality. A thought cannot think itself. It's not self-employed. It cannot live without you, the thinker of thought. And even this you, who is the thinker of thought, itself is a thought.
But there is a space and a vastness,
Yes.
a silence,
Yes.
which which is always there.
Yes.
But I can come closer to it. It
See,
can
this is not true.
not true.
It is experienced and felt to be true, but you have put yourself apart from that space and that silence. Therefore, you have to make excursions to it. You use words like, I can come close to it, and so on.
No,
You
it comes
cannot
closer
admit
to
you
me.
are it. Huh?
It comes closer in me.
It comes close to you.
Yes.
Is it infinite?
Yes.
How can the infinite travel? When it is everywhere, where can it go where it is not? See, I'm speaking like this because we have to expose how the mind plays in these regions. We pick up stray concepts and we satisfy that somehow they have a power and a meaning, but when looked at properly, it is foolishness. And you will somehow purchase these thoughts at great expense to your joy. Because purchasing these thoughts, you have purchased a sense of separation. Why do you feel I'm getting closer to it, or that the reality moves close to me? If something is infinite and limitless, then it is everywhere. Where is the place for you, apart from it?
I am it.
Yes. You say this now.
Yeah.
You see, this, when you are it, as it will not have any condition at any time of the day, under any circumstances. It will not change this truth. You will not say, yeah, I am it, but. And it's not a belief. It's not even a conviction. It's much, much more truthful than a conviction. A conviction means one thing being convinced about something else. If something that's here, it does not need conviction even. You see, there's a discomfort that comes in this type of questioning because if we use our mind, the mind is used to going out and catching a fish, coming home and cooking it. But here is something that even the mind going out to do something is itself seen as something else to this, which is completely unaffected by what you may call the functions of the body mind and its activities. It's completely not affected by it. But the body mind says, but what use is that? Well, it has no use. What use is the ultimate? To have a use, it must have a use for somebody. It is just the ultimate. It is just the truth. It is just the completeness. Something in us is afraid of our own completeness, because you think if I'm too complete, I'll have nothing left to do. It is really that ridiculous. And something inside is beating on the pulse, I need to do something. It's afraid of the sense of nothing. We were talking about this today, in fact. That there's an emptiness, but it's not the emptiness of the mind that the mind imagines, you see. And I gave the example that once we were recording a guided meditation, and when they were editing this guided meditation, usually we edit to take out any sort of sounds around. I don't mind the sounds around, because when we are in India, you hear the cows going, oh, it's all part of it. But someone was editing this guided meditation, and somehow they decided that this silence, there was a silent space that was too long. Okay? So they decided to shorten it. When I listened to it, I said, no, this is not right. It seemed too early for a voice to come in again. But we already cut. So what happened is that we tried to add some digital silence. Okay? All right? So we listen, and there is very big difference between silence and digital silence. Digital silence is dead. Silence is not dead. So the emptiness of the self, it is not dead. It is not like a digital emptiness. The mind imagine, but if nothing to do, is like, my God, we just, you see? But that is not so. The emptiness that you discover within is itself fullness. It is self-completeness. It's not a digital emptiness. It is alive, you see? But it's not a thing. If there is a genuine urge for truth, it must be somehow introducing you. It's already beginning to flow in your veins. It is already in the lungs. It's already showing itself inside your being and your body. Something is different to the normal feeling. The normal feeling of a person is lots of made-up things. But the true feeling, you see, it is so complete. The people cannot understand how you can sit and be so happy. Why you're not doing anything? You have no right to be happy. You understand? They don't understand that there's a joy of being. That is, whether there's activity or no activity, this joy is there, untouched. And this is why we are so active, because we are afraid of inactivity. Because the mind has created a notion of inactivity as stagnation. But the real self is neither active nor inactive. It is just pure presence, pure being. You want to take it to the end? Yes. And then where have we come so far now? Where have we come so far? It's been beautiful talking with you. Where have we come so far? What ground have we conquered in this looking? You must come to some state that you say, okay, I can see that my emotions, they play, and something has been interpreting emotion in a far more important way than they deserve. They are just a flow like the waves of the ocean. But I've been trying to give them a sense of solidity where they are not. They are just like the flow, the floating clouds. Then you say, well, yeah, I see this. What is important is, I thought it was important, my story about the clouds as I perceive them. But what is important now is who I am who is perceiving them. What has been found here? That which has been able to perceive the functioning of the senses, the object of the senses, the play of mind as thought and feeling, as the power to discern, to discriminate, all of this is perceived. The function of memory, the discernment between imagination and actuality, all of that is in front. Something sees all this. The vital breath, it is in front of something. Something sees this. The sense of personality, the sense of vulnerability, the sense of, as you started to mention, the kind of psychological identity, and all of this is all seen by what? What is doing the seeing of this? Does it have a shape? Does it have a date of birth? Does it have a star sign, like an astrological symbol?
It has always been.
Speak in this.
It has always been.
It has always been.
And it will always be.
Yes, and you who are speaking is what?
I don't know. They come.
Is not your very speaking arising in that and being perceived in that also?
When you ask this question, it triggers my mind.
Don't go too much with the mind vibration. Even if mind gets excited, it's a false excitement.
Yes.
Don't be pulled into that. The excitement of the mind is also perceived in that. You don't need to follow. You only need to know this. That mind, wherever it wants to go, is also just phenomenal. Don't waste time following mind. It's not going anywhere. You follow. The most important thing, the simplest thing, seems to be the hardest thing to assimilate. Why? Because we want to create something, we want to get something. And whatever you get belongs to time, it will just fall away. Even the you who get it is not consistent, that will also fall away. What sees the falling away of this? Will that fall away? We can break these kind of discussions down and make them very much more pictorial and create other concepts about them that's much more agreeable, much more attractive to the mind, and many more people will come. Okay? But I'm not concerned about that, because it need not be broken down and create some false thing to find the true thing. I don't feel like this. You may feel stretched inside your own being, that you have to make a bit of effort, something has to, and you start to realize your laziness, or some kind of laziness, or some form of resistance. And I would say, notice that, don't identify with that. You see? Because if you identify with that, I will not see you next week. You run away somewhere. You say, no, that's too much, that's too, no? But if you don't identify and trust what brought you here today, you may go through this thing here. You may go through. Because every single living being who has returned to their natural state has experienced this type of turbulence, has experienced these kind of doubts. It just depends on if there's a level of maturity where you'll not be put off that easily. But if you expect to realize the self while sitting in a hammock smoking a cigar, it's not probably going to happen like that. Sometimes you will feel challenged, you will feel uncomfortable, but this discomfort is not anything that is so truthful. It's only some cathartic reactions because the beingness is burping out some things which are not true. You have to be ready for that. Just like if you start a detox program, you may find some not very nice looking things appearing on the surface of your skin. And if you say, no, I better stop before, oh my God, how is it going to get, then you are not understood what is going to happen. Sometimes in searching for the truth deeply, you may find that some unpleasant feelings come. They are not who you are. They may have been who you have considered yourself to be, but now something deeper is throwing them out. A deeper power is burping them out. You must have some courage in this. It doesn't always have to be the same way. There are some people who may not experience these type of cathartic reactions, but nevertheless, they feel that there's something much more powerful is coming to the surface, you see. I just want to check in with you, whether you have reached a certain sense of a limit within yourself, or you wish to go further than that.
I think I reached a limit now.
Yes. This you have decided.
Yes. Yeah.
It is okay. It's fine because I respect this. If you know, either because the vital force is shrinking away. I can't. Now this, you have got something. You have spoken out something. This has a power. It was an insight that came for you. With this insight, you can continue until somehow all that stuff is burnt. But occasionally fear comes, or a feeling like it's now getting, my old system is shutting down. Sometimes your old system starts to shut down. It's like, it's too much, I'm shutting down. And it's phenomenal in the sense that it's not true. But at the same time, it's true enough experientially, say, okay, I'll give you a rest. If I push you too much, the mind will go, see? Right then. So it's okay. This is fine. I'm very happy that you come, and I hope to keep you coming again, and we keep looking and push through, clear up the rest of it. Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, when you come for me, yes. Very good. Come.
I'm burning.
Yeah. What happened?
I'm burning.
Burning is good. Burning is good.
I wanted to finish
Yes.
completely.
Yes.
Go all the way. Just finish this person and take it all out. Take it over.
Yeah.
Everything.
The fire knows what to do. And this fire that we speak about, this sense of burning, is a very, very natural response in satsang, because something deep is touched, and it's almost as though you cannot use your mind now. You see? It's like everything, and I say sometimes to people, don't be afraid of this fire. Come into this fire. This fire won't burn you. It will only burn what you are not. So this feeling sometimes happen where it's like, whoa, like all the constructs of ideas and stuff that we have picked up in life now is in the fire of grace. This is fire of grace. It's very beautiful. You see? And this fire of grace, God's grace, takes care of you very nice. You may find that you have a sense of not knowing anything anymore for a bit. This is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. And you simply have inside your heart is a big yes, a kind of sense of surrenderedness. and somehow it's like something is just dissolving inside like that.
But there's also this thing that wants to say, yes, I know that, I know that feeling, I know what will happen.
Yes,
But
yeah, let that burn. That one, he wants to know and so on. And this sense of burning, it is okay. In fact, it is a very, I say grace because there's not a lot you have to do. When there's a sense of doing something, it will come inside. You feel like an urge. It's a different kind of language. It's not a mental language. It will arise like an urge. You may feel just a burning urge to go and walk. And you're just walking, walk, walk. And there's somebody, where you going? Just, I don't know, just have to keep walking. It is a way that many people, because we are so cultured, how to behave, you see. And sometimes this inner light is not cooperating with social conditioning. It wants to just go walk or to sometimes just sleep. Sometimes you feel you have a fever or something like that. And you just have to let it happen. Just, I say, surrender your existence to existence. You are now a child of the universe. And you are cooking in this thing. And it's beautiful. You don't have to understand anything. There are many people who want to understand a lot of things. But you are not going to understand anything. And still at the same time, your mind will become very pure. This is what, because there's not a lot of things to know. The more we sometimes know more, become confused by your own sense of knowing. Some people, they know so much, then they don't know if they really know or they just think they know. So this knowing is not good. So in a sense, this is what you're happening. Did you create this? Not at all. This is life. You are life. Today earlier we were talking about these things, and I said for a long time, I had a sense that I'm speaking to God and God responds to me, and there's a subtle sense of some separation is there, and pray hard. And some people think they have to shout because maybe God is busy and want to get his attention or something. But then I wanted to present another way of looking, another metaphor, and that is that, like every living being, certainly every human being, like we are like the God or the life or the totality, the supreme self, the supreme being is one totality. And however diverse, however many beings there are, each being is like a seed of God, a seed of the totality. And it has the totality in it. And inside that seed, the totality feeds it from inside the seed itself. And that seed must somehow flower. It must bear fruit. It must grow into a mighty tree. Yeah. And in a sense, we experience the sense of like something is arising from inside. The mind is learning from outside, but the heart is fed from inside. Like you're growing out of yourself. Where it come from, nobody can know. Look how much hair you have on your head. But if somebody looks under your scalp, there's no hair underneath. It's not like they have a big bunch of hair coming out. It's just, it comes hair. Like this. In the same way, everything is coming out of this kind of emptiness. Like an emptiness. And we trust in knowledge. We have a tremendous veneration for informational knowledge. But it will not help you to discover yourself. Yourself is the supreme being. We are only to discover the synchronicity with the supreme self. And then knowingness or knowledge comes spontaneously when it is needed. When it is not needed, it goes back into formlessness. So in this sort of fire, something is happening. You don't have to go to learn about fires. You just cook. When I meet people like this, I feel the tremendous sense of auspiciousness has picked you up. They don't have a lot to tell you, just real good. At a certain point, it may come a time when you feel you want to say something, you want to ask something, and it may be the right time, and something will come out of this. But in this stage, you're just like a baby in the lap of God. So very good. Yes, yes. Thank you. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Very good. Very good. Very happy to see you. Very good. Ah, good, good. Nice.
I want to first share some experience
No.
that I have. I will start about my ego. And in one vision, I see the old man built by ashes that can only
The
make
old man, what happened?
he can just make something like
The old man
built by ashes. It's
made from ashes.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And when I came here, I feel this that everybody is oneness, and even I don't need to carry about this. I just sit, see, feel, and even then there I am in this space where is no feelings, no needed to carry to make attention about this. But many times appears something like this that I need to do something with this.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is not good to have no feeling, but I also observe this.
But did you decide that you don't want to have feeling, or this is just what you discover?
It's coming naturally.
Naturally, okay. It's not a bad thing for a while you have no feeling. Maybe you have a feeling less feeling. Because to have no feeling, this no feeling is also a feeling.
Yes, this is
Isn't
what
it?
I also discover.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't matter. It's just a sensation that is perceived in you, because what is your truest thing you can admit is that you know that you exist somehow, and that you are perceiving just naturally. You don't have to decide to perceive. You don't have to decide to experience. It just happens naturally. You are aware of experiencing. You are aware of the functioning of perception. You are aware of the sense of existence.
And what is also happening when I make a relaxation meditation, it makes a lot of pressure on my head.
Yes.
And I also observe this.
Yes.
And in a few minutes, it's gone, and I am in a space of no space, no emotions, no me, no body, and also some projections, some pictures are arising.
Mm-hmm.
But what I feel it's something like the soul speaking with me, in the language that they know, but it's very unlogical pictures and feelings and informations that they receive.
You
And
only need to be aware that these images, the languages, the experiences, the subtleties that are being seen are arising for something, and find out what this something is. Because the images can be different in different forms. Different images can come. Some people will see angels, some people see lights, some people see nothing, some people feels everything, some people feel nothing. You see? So we cannot go on that to say, oh, if you feel nothing is this, if you feel everything. No, I don't know. I say it's nothing at all. For me, it's all nothing. It's nothing. It doesn't matter. Why? Because these things come and go. They come and go. Come and go, come and go. Like every day, some clouds come and go. Do we need to remember them especially? No, they come and go. They come and go. What you know is that the sky is always there. The clouds, they come and go. So we don't have to be studying any particular cloud. They come and go like that. You see? That which is witnessing them, does that come and go? Can I ask this question? Because you are aware of that which we call life, the traffic of life, thoughts and feelings, relationships, your interactions with beings and all of these things. From the bursting open of the waking state in the morning when you get up, activities are going, and the perception of activity is going like that. You see? Throughout the waking, what you may call the waking state, this activity is happening, and the awareness of the activity is happening. You are aware of the activities of life. You see? That which is aware of all the movements taking place, okay? Is that which is aware of all the movements taking place, is that always constant? These are simple things actually, but it's tremendous when you're able to observe them. When you can observe, space opens up inside. Some space is there, and this space gives a natural sense of harmony and being. You will not object to this space. You will love it naturally.
And what this also appears when I get this space, and it's some of mind thinking that you see it's also something in their space. Some feelings comes, like a bliss on heart, and something like critical voice inside.
Yeah.
And I'm very tired of this when I see this.
The actors will not go on the stage until the audience is sitting. Okay? The actors will not go on the stage until the audience is sitting. Okay? Because they need to be observed. They need to be enjoyed. What is the metaphor? There cannot be any thoughts perceived unless the perceiver of thought is already here. Okay? So, you are that one which is watching the play. I gave an example of a beautiful picture I saw before of two birds in a tree. One of them is building a nest. And above this bird, on another branch, is simply another bird is there just watching. Okay? So one bird is building this, but above on another branch is a bird looks identical like this bird, but it's only looking. No? So this bird which is building is our sense of the person who is building life and doing things and so on. Then above this, it seems to be another bird which is only observing. This bird points to the observer in yourself. The activities are going on, and there's a space where the watching of activities is taking place, but that watching place is not activity. Isn't it? So, again, the audience is there, the theater is there, on the stage is all of this activity of life, and you are in the audience watching this play. The actors are jumping about, but the audience is not jumping about. They're just watching. Okay? Then you say, this is what's happening. Then is there anything else further than this? Well, I say the total thing is the theater of consciousness. Both the actors on the stage and the one watching is both phenomenal to something else. What is that something else? You don't want the answer in words. I am that something else. But it's not else, only in this illustration. And the actor, the stage, the witness, all of those are connected to my original self. I'm aware of all of it, but I'm not doing anything deliberately. Can you see at all like that? I'm not telling you don't be interested in your life. I don't know how to do this. You find out who you are and you see something which I don't want to tell you about. But you'll be the happiest being in the whole world.
Thank you.
Okay.
I want to say you also about the best teacher in my life, the best master. And this is my 10 years old brother that I was caring about when he was young.
Yes.
And it was a situation what I discovered in this few days, what comes out, that when I go out from home to traveling through my country, from friends to friends, my grandparents says to him that I go out to the world and I will never come back. And when I come back to this house and go to the room, my brother says me this, and says also that he was crying that he never will see me again, and we was crying. And a few days ago it appears that that's some kind of feeling about this situation. That some person can say like that to a little child, and it happens something like this.
Okay. This is just life. Not anything. We say all kind of things. You would think that people, as they grow older, they will be more wise, but sometimes they become more stupid also. Nobody is exempt. We don't have an automatic certificate that age is wisdom or whatever it is. You just have to put the whole thing. It's all phenomenal. If you understood this feeling, that it's like that, you don't care so deeply about it, but more you focus and discover your own being, you'll find a natural synchronicity, an appropriate way of functioning in the world with any being according to their present state of maturity or something like that. You will not judge them particularly, or be so caught up in each person's private life or something. There's no need for that. Nobody can understand the person. In fact, the person doesn't really exist, actually, in the way that we imagine. You can only imagine each other. You cannot know each other. There are some superficial characteristics that are repetitive, seem to be, and we are familiar with that. You cannot learn about yourself by just studying people. You must start somehow with inside your own self. When you know this, you will know the one thing that's worth knowing, and that is in everybody. The details are not important.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, very good. And that is the Christ love. That's the Christ light in everyone. Not interested in, when is the last football match you went to or not. No, that's important. What did your parents say to you when you were this age? That's not, none of these things are important. In your real being, everything is just like that. You don't carry so much information around and fill up your being with kind of noise. You're like in this beautiful emptiness. Memory is still functioning, but not to support an ego identity. Only in service to the true. You see? But we don't have to create any kind of rigid idea or identity about that. You're far more flexible, as the beingness than you can ever be as a person. A person is not so flexible. You see. Yeah, very good. Wonderful. Thank you. Oh, okay, very good. Yeah. You see what happened? She put her hand up and I say you and she goes, oh. I want to hear what you have to say. Hi, darling. Very good. Yeah, thank you.
Mooji, we have been talking about the one that sees inside or sees outside, about consciousness that holds on to the body because it likes to be a person or is compulsed to be a person, one of those. So this kind of introduces my question. Maybe it's been like 3 weeks or so that I've been realizing more and more, or maybe it's just a play of mind, I'm not sure, that this body feels very foreign to me.
Feels very
foreign
foreign to you, yes.
Meaning, if I look at it as a piece of life, like everything around that life, I don't find myself anymore, or my idea about who I am. I hope I am saying this right. Yeah? So this is a piece of life that basically, it's not Ella. Ella is my name. It's just piece of life, independent. And if I am trying to find myself, I'm nowhere. I can't find it. I don't know. I feel lost.
Yes.
I feel like falling in some, I don't know where. And I am nowhere, basically, but I am here. I don't know where. So, but if I am awareness, if there is awareness, and then there is this body, and then life, and then there is consciousness, where am I within this consciousness? And then I guess what I'm trying to find out is what is the consciousness that is responsible for this life. How, if I am consciousness, that where am I? In the bigger picture, and then what is that keeps this alive? Because this piece of life is totally independent. I can the most I can do to this body is to hurt it or even to kill it. If I want to, I can do that, or I can improve some functions of it. But the complexity of it, is just totally out of my control. So how does consciousness keep that keeps that, and where am I in all this picture?
Yeah.
Because I am a nurse, and I would like to know more about this body, just to understand it, I guess.
You feel intuitively that you're inside the body, no? Also. You feel
I
intuitively that
used
you
to
are
know
inside this
I'm sorry.
body.
Well,
The-
I'm deaf. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Oh, hi. This is my dear host. Host.
Horse?
I am-
Host.
I don't know what the host is,
Oh,
but
okay.
host. I am the guest. Okay. I I know that I knew intuitively that I am not the body. Now that I know for sure I'm not the body, what I feel I'm not the body, where the hell am I?
But you feel you're in the body.
I don't know how am I connected with it, and this is a lot of frustration.
Because you cannot speak what you speak. Can you choose to speak
I
in that
know.
body?
No, sir, I
No,
cannot do
so
that.
you are also connected with this particular
Yes,
body.
I know
okay.
very well I am,
Yeah,
and I obviously attend to it, and I have to,
Yes.
but I don't know how, and I would like to know that.
You'd like to know how.
How is that I am connected to? Because I know I'm not it.
Yes.
How does that happen? How can you just be, but at the same time you are connected to this body that is both a blessing and a piece of trouble?
I don't think the body by itself is trouble.
No,
I don't
no.
think anything in the world by itself is trouble. I think trouble is more to do with the attitude you have to the things in the world than the things in themselves.
Okay, so going back to my question, how does consciousness keep all this phenomenal work?
If I
That-
told you, you think you would be able to understand?
Of course, no. I would
Yeah?
have known already, I guess.
You see, because I don't think it's a true question. You know, why is the sun hot? I mean, we can ask question. How does the consciousness function in this body? And somehow, yet it is not the body. How does it function in the body, yet it's not the body? Now, if you were given one question in your life to ask, suppose you're going to meet God, and God come to meet you, I give you one question to ask, any question you can ask. But I would encourage you to ask something that is the most important question for you. Would this be a question you would ask?
I don't really ask out of curiosity, really. Do you think so?
You don't find that there's something much more an important question than this to ask? You have already got the sense that something is speaking from inside the body, and that you have the sense that I am not merely the body, but the body has something to do with the functioning of consciousness also.
Yes.
Yeah. Because without the body, the consciousness could not have the taste of experiencing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But if you ask, how does the consciousness function in this body?
Yeah.
And if I start to break it down and say, obviously, the first thing that must arise must be that, let's take it from your waking state. You were in deep sleep. In deep sleep, you would not be able to ask any of these questions.
No.
You did not have a sense of yourself as a person, as a
Right.
woman, or as anything like that. But in that deep sleep state, you were happy. You were content. I ask Anna.
I'm sorry. Say it again.
In the deep sleep state, you were happy. You were content. You
I'm
were
not sure,
troubled.
but I would think so, yes.
Well, you were not discontent
No.
in deep sleep. I'm not talking about dream now. I'm talking in the deep sleep state.
In a deep sleep, I know where I am.
Yeah. In the deep sleep state, you have no identity.
No.
Do you
I-
enjoy sleep?
I know. I do.
Okay.
I do.
So you enjoy sleep, and yet you are not there as a person,
No.
isn't it?
Yes.
We go and we go shopping to buy a good bed. There are so many places selling bed because everybody has to sleep. The best businesses in the world is ones that sell food, the ones that sells beds, isn't
Mattresses.
it? Mattresses,
Yes.
you like this, no?
Yeah.
Okay, and the ones that bury people. Okay, because that's business all year round. It's never
Yeah.
going to be bankrupt. Okay, so we are going to buy the bed, and everybody tries to get the best bed in order to do what? To dream,
To rest.
to rest. Okay, so you buy the bed to completely forget.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you are cognizing and in the world of interaction, you say the word to rest. You are not at rest. Yeah? Nobody seems to be at rest. We hear even this word rest. People say rest, rest in peace. You have to go to the cemetery to see the word rest in peace. And even they are not resting in peace also. Isn't it? So you go to the deep sleep, you go to bed to go enjoy deep sleep. In fact, we should not tell people, sweet dreams. Because sweet dreams is not going to help you to rest. You must say dead sleep. Right? Dead sleep means everything you leave. Identity, you could be married today, tonight honeymoon, deep sleep come. Where's your husband, your bride, whatever? They don't exist. You don't exist as the person you are. Everything you will leave. Your belief, your religion, your identity, your gender, your work, you're rich or poor, everything you will leave. You become absolutely nothing. Okay? For a good, the waking hours, how much we spend? Maybe 12 hours? We are in the waking state. And about 8 hours in the dream state. It's a significant amount of time in the deep sleep state, where you know nothing at all. And yet you pay so much money to ensure that you know nothing at all. You go into this state and you say you enjoy, isn't it? So what is it that enjoys even when you are not there? Your person is not there. You're not aware of your body. If you're a man or a woman, you don't know your birthday, you don't know what nationality you are. You don't know if you're Muslim or Hindu or Christian, you don't know anything at all. And yet you've bought a bed to ensure that this happens. You forget everything. Okay? So let's say you got up this morning at say 7 o'clock. So at 6:59, what was your state? Nothing. Nothing at all. 7 o'clock, something is up. Or you may have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night or something. You go to the bathroom, you carry out all the functions properly, without identity, because you don't need to be a woman to have a pee or something. You have to go, you'll go and, or a wife or a husband or something. So all these happen automatically. You wake up. Sometimes we wake up also and we don't have any identity for a bit. You just wake up. And then gradually identity comes in. So this is, I think, answering your question. So somehow you become aware that you exist. The first thing you become aware is that you exist, not your children exist. Because if you are aware that your children exist, you must first exist to know that they are your children exist. So that's the first thing, is that you know I exist. You don't have to say the words, but you know I exist. When the I arise, that's called the firstborn, the first concept. The immaculate conception, I call it. Because it's the first arising, the pure concept, the sense I am. When I am comes, then you are can come. When you are can come, world can come. Time can come. Change can come. Life can come. Like this. So you are the one who is watching all of that, including your body and like this. Because in deep sleep you did not know you're a woman or that you're a man or nothing like that. It's not important. That state which was in the deep sleep is also present here. A space within yourself that doesn't know anything, doesn't need to know anything at all. It simply is. On top of it, is the knowing state, whereby you have a sense that you know. And that knowing state, you also are observing it. If somebody puts something, some gas over your face, you can feel your knowingness disappearing. You also observe it. But this you, who is it? What religion is it? What nationality is it? Yes.
None.
Okay. How does the consciousness function in this body? First, it needs a body to function in this particular way, to have the sense of I and other. When this body is formed, then the consciousness, the first announcing of consciousness in the body is the vibration I am. When the sense I am arises in the body, it denotes I, consciousness, exist. That's what it says. When I, consciousness, exists and I'm aware of my existence, I can be aware of everything else that appears in front of me.
So what's wrong with understanding what part of consciousness carries on all the body functions? What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with it. But can you know what part of consciousness is responsible for bodily function?
Maybe, I don't know. But it has to be somewhere.
But suppose you found out, what value would it be to you? Consciousness does not have little rooms
Right.
or little buttons in it.
Yeah.
This one is for the foot, this one is for the lungs, this one. You may locate consciousness in its physical aspect, as you may call the brain or something, and we can look at these things, but that which is even watching the brain even. So that's why I'm asking you, would this, if you only had one question in your life to ask, would this be the question?
Probably not. I mean, most likely not.
Yeah. I feel it is very important for each one to have a sense that if you had one question, if you have only the last 5 minutes in your life, and you could ask one question, find out one thing, what would you want to know? I think this is already something.
I'm not sure there is much to know, really. It's not much to know. No, all of it, I guess. After all, it's
Or to
either,
experience, or whatever.
yeah,
Yes.
it's either, I guess, a curiosity, or it has some practical purposes. But there is no anything else above the miracle that you exist, I guess. I mean, I know.
If you bring the ultimate and question and knowing to the fact that you exist, I would say there's something even more than this. You must find out as what do you exist. Because you naturally know, everybody, even a worm knows it exists. A mosquito, it knew it exists. So could that be just the ultimate thing?
I'm sorry, what?
Would that be the ultimate thing, to know it exists? But as what do you exist?
As what?
Yeah. What is it that you say, I exist? Everybody knows I exist. I exist. But if you start to look into what the inner perception of I who exists is what?
I'm not quite sure, but it's something eternal. It just can't be named. And I know it sounds like,
No, I'm only
just
looking for whether you are answering merely as a concept or as knowing. You see, you use the word curiosity. Curiosity will give you something, you'll find something, but it will not stay with
Right, I already said that would not be an ultimate question, really.
Yes.
There is no room for questions.
Yeah. I think there's room for my question. As
Yes.
what do you exist? You know I exist, but what is the I that exists?
Awareness.
And I ask you, you use the word awareness, you see, but is the word enough awareness? And why would I know that when you say awareness, you're only using it as a word and not as experience?
How would you know?
Yes.
You can't.
I can't.
No.
Yes, I can.
You can?
Yes. I know when you
I
use
can
it.
give you my word. It wouldn't matter.
No, no. This is a mistake you are making.
Okay.
Why would I? Why when you speak the word and you say you gave an answer and I don't accept your answer, I say it's only a concept. When you speak it, it's only a concept. Someone else may say it and I have a different feeling. I would say I'm very happy to meet you. What would be the difference? On what ground would I discern that your answer is merely conceptual and for another one it is total experience? They're answering as themselves.
There is nothing to grasp there to show you.
Huh?
There is nothing to grasp there to show you. There is nothing to name.
No, that's not your place. So what I'm saying is that you answer awareness, but I say your answer is merely a concept. It's only a word, awareness. We can throw it away. It means nothing. Put it in your pocket. It means nothing.
Okay, it's not a thing, but it exists. So I don't know how to name that. I don't know how to name that.
I think
There is
you
no
missed my
name.
question.
I'm sorry.
You see, because this is the thing here. The difference between learning and being. Learning will not stay with you. It will collapse under stress.
I know.
You see, what you know, you must be. When you and your answer are the same thing, then somehow something alive is there. If you merely give answer, like university answer, school answer, it means nothing at all.
Right.
You must know the difference.
Right.
So I ask a question, you answer, yeah, consciousness, or the Supreme, Almighty God. But it means, throw it away, throw it away. Oh my God. Because it's only words. I am not here merely sharing words with you.
No.
We are exploring. And
Yes.
there's a point to it that when you are guided something, if you follow inside, it leads you to somewhere, into what you may call a direct experience, which is irrefutable. It means that it's not your opinion. I'm not asking for your opinion. I want to come here to meet you, not your idea.
I can't see anything, sir.
Huh?
I can see anything.
Yes.
I can't. When I don't know.
I am not asking you to see anything. Whatever you see, I'm not interested in what you see. Because presently, whatever you see is something in your mind. That's all. You are not your mind.
I know.
The important thing, maybe just you can leave it like that, and just I would want to say to you, don't hold on to any idea at all. Don't hold on to any idea or think you know anything at all. You see, because sometimes you think you know something. I say, but what is it? It's nothing at all. What can you do with that knowledge? Get a job maybe or something. You're not here to get a job. You're here to wake up to yourself, isn't it? So your knowledge may not be useful here for that. So therefore I say, leave aside all your knowledge, your idea of who you are, or even what you want, if there's anything you want, or who you think you are. Can you do this? Leave everything aside. Leave everything, live empty, 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 empty.
I already said that I'm very frustrated that I don't know who I am.
Yeah. So I'm giving you a help clue now. Leave everything, even your question, I don't know who I am. Leave this, leave everything. Can you do it?
Yes.
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 Yes. Even any assessment that you were confused or whatever, leave everything aside. Leave everything aside. Okay, and no, where are you then? Yeah, if you leave everything aside, now speak from the place where you are now. Everything you've left aside. All your learning, your ideas, everything you leave aside. Now speak from this place now.
I can only say.
Speak in this
I
thing.
can only say I'm here.
Yes.
And you
What
know
is it
I'm
that's
here.
here? What is it that you are that's here? You see, you don't see a place for this question, but I see a very good place for this question.
My attention is here. I don't know. my attention is here. Something I don't know. I know it's here. I cannot name that.
Yeah. Yeah. If I could take your head off and I
Oh.
ask your heart, well, I want your heart to answer, not your head to answer.
Love is here.
What?
Love is here.
Yeah, it'll come from your head again.
Why? Heads off. Okay.
So maybe better you go sit down for a little bit
Okay.
and just try and just be empty and quiet and see. Just see what happens. Don't wait for anything. Don't expect anything. Just try and just be, just be. Just try and just be for now. Because if you come to that state,
I'm really not sure how I would name that. I really don't know.
I'm not
how.
asking you to name anything
Okay.
now. You're not to name anything. You're not been given any job.
But you're asking me, so how do I answer?
I asked you already something. Suppose every living thing in this world has fired you. We don't want nothing from you. Okay? We don't want any job. We don't want you in any way. We don't want nothing. So there's nothing you have to do.
I'm still here.
You're still here. This is good.
I'm
You're
still
still here.
here. You
Yeah.
can fire me. You can. I will. I am here. Sorry.
And then you also fire you.
Oh my God.
I don't want this to turn out to be just a joke. It's not a joke.
No.
Okay. Okay. It's good. It's okay. It's good. Okay. Thank you.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
This is my fourth time here,
Yeah.
and since discovering you, I've been inquiring a lot, and something has really blossomed inside. That has been there all along.
Yes.
So
yes.
the thing is, and I'll be asking you some personal question, if you don't mind. During my daily routines, let's call it like that, even being much more aware and empty and quiet and in silence and in myself, sometimes some phenomenal things, some experiences happen that take that ego that it's being laid down here, and that somehow I take it away home again with me, and somehow those experiences call out for that ego, and it reacts, even being let's say aware of that being just a phenomenal.
Yes.
For example, and this is something I would like to ask you personally, not by the person, but as conscious through person. For example, in your daily life, there must be, I believe, or I want to believe that there must be some things that happen that make you nervous somehow, or give you some kind of anger or some kind of negative emotion. My question is not one simple question, but several simple questions.
Okay.
Do you react to them? And if you do, how do you react? Do you, when those feelings or thoughts or emotions come?
If I know how I react to something is not a reaction, it's an action, like to something, you see. The reactions, they happen. They happen, and there is a total place for reaction because I'm a living being. If I take this glass of water and I shake it like this, and I put it back down there, it will shake for a while, but naturally by itself, without any help, it will come to still again. Your beingness, your consciousness is like that. If somehow something happens and something, and then somehow it's gone. It doesn't keep the memory of this thing like a person does. A person holds on and feels bitter, and every time they're feeling happy, and then they see this person, because the memory is still alive in this notion. Whereas when the consciousness, it is experiencing, everything can happen in this body, can experience, but it's only momentary. It's not developing, planting karmic seeds for next time to. It's just fresh like this.
Yes, I know that. And as a matter of fact, it's just what I've been trying to do, but sometimes some events are so much heavy that I know I don't know, but I know I just put it in my backpack and carry on for some.
This is the
for so
difference.
long.
If you're listening from the beginning, and please, the same thing I'm telling everybody, yeah, the important thing to know, if you come to this, is that all of this, from the moment you wake up, the full functioning of the waking state, all the activities of the waking state, including myself moving in it, it's all phenomenal. If you know this, if you know it like this, you will not be troubled by it. You see? You know that you are the witness of this phenomenality in expression, including this. It doesn't mean that you behave like other people in the same way, whatever that means. Other people generally would mean that someone has some grudge against someone else, and they retain this grudge, and they hold on to this anger, and they have this sense of themselves. This is very different for the consciousness. It doesn't hold on to any impression about itself. It is always in that even state. Sometimes there's some blip of something, but that's also it totally accepts that, because it has no life to continue in that blip. It's just a movement in consciousness. It's like an ocean. There's waves in the ocean. Suppose the ocean said, I am not very ocean-like today because there's too many waves. And then it has trouble. It has to say, but it has to be comfortable with its waves and without waves. You see?
Yes, I know what you mean, and by that time, each time more detached from whatever thing is happening.
Yes.
But for example, I recently got to know that you like food very well seasoned.
Yes.
And what happens if someone gives you food very bad seasoned?
Very bad seasoned.
Yeah, will you be? I don't know. I don't want to mean anger or angry or I'm not gonna eat this crap or.
It's very spicy or something like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen. These are not big things. These
Yes,
are
I know
small
they're
things.
not. Yeah.
If somebody give, because sometimes now I used to cook, as an example, I used to cook all my own food. I enjoyed cooking, and I'm quite comfortable with cooking. But since I'm here, I hardly cook. And so I eat everything, different things, and many times the food I tend to like food that is more spicy. This is my culture. I grew up like this. And there are many people who are, say, at Sahaja, they are yogis. I'm not a yogi. They are yogis. They can eat grass. They are fine. Okay? But I am not comfortable to eat this. I want to have some more seasoning and stuff like this. But it's not anything at all. It's life like that. It's nothing. Yes. Yeah.
But I know that those are.
But you want to say, would I get really upset about it?
No, no, not the really.
Huh?
Not really upset or anything like that. But when some big event.
There are no big events. I'm serious. I don't see any big events
Yeah,
as
we
in
just
what would
value
be.
them as big.
Huh?
We just value them as big, but they are not.
The event will be as big as to correspond with the amount of identity you're functioning with.
Yes.
If you feel something for some people, a small thing for you may be a very big thing for them.
Yes, and the thing
Is
is
it-
that each time more I'm getting less identified
Yeah, this is
with
good.
what's happening.
Yes.
Even things that before I would go crazy. Let's
Yes.
say like this.
This should naturally happen with or without effort.
Yes, each time is more effortless, and
Yes.
that's so wonderful.
Yes.
That's such a wonderful feeling, and
Yes.
I couldn't imagine a year ago feeling this, and
Yes. It's very good. You carry on like this. You don't even have to try not to be angry or try, you don't have to try. Only keep remembering the self. Remembering and being the self. If you understand what it means when I say stay as the self, meaning that don't go to the person. If you are meeting life too much at the person in the form of a person, you will struggle. When you come to understand and function from the place of consciousness, which is not difficult because it's already in place, and it's just a truer understanding, your truer position, everything becomes lighter, easier for you. You know? But if things are not easy, it's still good. Because if it's difficult, and sometimes you need trouble for a while, because it helps you to aspire to go beyond it, to, like this.
yeah, that's exactly what happened with me.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Very big tragic moment that
Yes, yes. Everything is good. Everything is good. Even bad things, they are good. Yeah.
that's so
We don't
wonderful.
always recognize it in the moment, and if we have a very strong attachments and so on, it can feel to be, really terrible, and even you regret and so on like this. But as you come, this is why I say the universal medicine is to come into your own self-realization, to realize what really is here. I say so many times, this body is a time body, it's a mortal body, but the immortal one is inside him. And while the body is warm, use him to find the one who is, imperishable. That's all. Other things you don't have to study. They will come to you automatically. You don't have to study 10, 15 things. Not at all. Waste of this is my view. Other views exist, of course. But mine is, you need to know only yourself and be such beautifully in tune, in fact. It's not a personal self. It's a universal self. And in somehow knowing and being this, you find that you don't have to exert so much energy to know anything at all. It's like it comes spontaneously for you. And there are many things you don't need to know right now, and you will know you don't need to know that. You will not be lost nor confused.
I believe there are more things to be unlearned than to be learned.
Yes.
The more I unlearn things, the more free I get, the more
Yes.
liberated I get.
Yes, yes,
I strongly feel that.
yes. It's good. Very good. Very good, very good. Thank you. Very good. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you. So good. Okay, you come first, and after I can come. Hi, darling. Very good.
Hi, Mooji.
Hi, darling.
My name is Romina.
Romina?
Yes.
Ah, I knew a Romina one time. You from Italy or not? No.
No,
From?
born in Mexico but live in Argentina.
In Argentina, okay.
Well, I sit here because I don't want to come back home doing the same things.
You don't want to go back home?
doing the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing the same thing. Okay.
I want to
Yes, yes,
change,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yes.
So I have been like searching, but I feel there is something I just still don't get.
Yeah.
Where if I have to make a decision of something, usually people tell me, "Oh, just be," or you ask if I have one question, what should I ask? And I always wonder, what's my vocation? Why
Yeah.
I'm here in this world? What should I do? And the usual response I get is, you have to be, you have to feel. Every time I have to get a decision, but I don't know how to do that.
The question you ask, many people asking, what is my purpose here? What is my vocation? What am I to do here? No? But there's a more intimate question than that. First, you must know, who am I? Then after, you can find, what should I do? Because if you ask, what should I do, you miss the who you are. If you know who you are, then what you must do and all of it become very easy for you. You see? So what must I do means that you already assume what you are. I'm 26 years old, I'm from this place, I'm from blah, 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 blah. Okay, but I want to know, what is my vacation? So already you start with an assumption. Now, this assumption is a universal assumption because nobody teaches us to question the identity or the conditioning that we grew up with. Nobody is doing it, not even in the church, nobody's asking you to do it. So I don't know how we came into this type of field where we're even looking into this. Because if you go for a job, they don't want to know more than you tell them, what is your name? My name is Josephine, my name is this, I do this, I do that. And okay, very good, when can you start? Oh, next Monday. Nobody wants to know, really, who are you? Where did you come from? No, I come from Mexico. No, not Mexico. Where did you really come? No, nobody's going to ask you. Nobody's going to ask you like this. So generally, nobody needs to know. Nobody asks this question, you see. But you come to satsang because something inside, the life has been arranging some encounters for you to help you to go more deeply, to satisfy that urge that is inside your heart. You have to find something, and you don't want to go back to live merely a mundane life of whatever. So it brought you here. No? Your question, you see, is okay. No? What must I do with my life? And I would rather to introduce another question to you to find out who you are first. It's a very unusual question, because as I said before, we have a universal assumption that I am my body and my conditioning. These are my parents, I was born in this place on this date, this is my astrological sign, I studied this place, and usually it's enough. But I don't find it easy. I don't think it's all about your body.
Actually, I have growth, always doing the right thing. So I think I lost the connection. I learned how to act like doing the right thing, but that made me lost from what I really want.
It couldn't have made you lose so much because you're here. If you're so lost, you have no interest in this type of thing. You see? So some consciousness is there to know, you know what, I don't feel established in my truth or something. I've always been a good person. I've been a good, I've cooperated. I always acted within the law. I've always been a good daughter. I've always been like this. But somehow in maybe trying so hard to be that, I had to sacrifice maybe some kind of adventure of self-discovery, which, my culture or my conditioning does not allow me to explore like that. Because your family may think, why you want to do that? You have everything here. Why you want to go off in the bush and spend all your time? It's like this. So how did you do it, by the way? How did you get away? Does anybody support you to come here, help you, encourage you to come here? Yeah. So, speaking sad?
People I met on the way.
People you met on the way, yeah. It's very good. Now you're with me and I ask you, if I were to ask you, who are you? But I am not asking you, what is your religion? I'm not asking this. Would you have a way of answering me? Would you feel uncomfortable with this question? Speaking that?
No, I don't feel uncomfortable now, but I don't know what to answer.
Gotcha. Do you have any desire, a strong desire inside your heart for anything? What?
For something to do?
Whatever. Do you have something that's a real drive? I want to discover something?
Yeah, I want to discover. I want to feel free. I don't know. I just.
So you don't feel free?
No, I feel like I'm stuck sometimes. Sometimes I feel very small. But I feel I want to know what to. I think I have to do something. I don't know. There's something I'm not doing.
How long are you going to be here for? How did you come here? You are staying here?
I'm staying here until Tuesday.
12 days?
No, Tuesday, sorry.
Tuesday. What is today? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then after, what you do?
Nothing. I don't have plan. Whatever you tell me, I will do it.
You come and spend a week with me there. Arrange something for you. Because I feel you have to find this thing. And, okay? So we can talk about it after. Okay. All right. Okay. Very good. Okay. Very good. Okay. You want to come? Roger. Very good. Did you speak with your mom recently?
Yeah.
How recently?
A few days ago.
Oh, good.
She actually had a present, but I forgot to bring it today. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous. I just wanted to check in with you to make use of the opportunity because I'm going back after 6 weeks here.
Okay.
Back to Germany and want to check in what comes up and make use of this opportunity.
Get going.
Yeah, I guess at the moment I'm a bit obsessed with health and good diet and stuff, and maybe that's obstructing me a bit, my freedom a bit. And yeah, right now I have the feeling I'm very weak. I feel very ridiculous. And
why would you feel ridiculous?
Because I'm not speaking on something profound.
No, but you are speaking honestly, and for me, that's not something to dismiss.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah.
Okay. You observe that there is a strong tendency, your energy is going a lot towards your physical well-being and so
Yes,
on.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and that is also phenomenal. You understand what I mean by that?
Mhm.
That so, if you then say perhaps that is getting in the way of my self-awareness or something, I don't feel that that is an ultimate statement. It's not ultimately true. In fact, nothing gets in the way of you, of who you are. Nothing. In fact, you are going to find out that nothing stops you from being what you are. See? But you're thinking that something does, you will believe it into existence, and it will become your experience, that something blocks you from being what you are. This is how the whole thing works, in fact. We are primarily perceiving what we are conceiving. If you believe something to be something strongly, it becomes your experience. You see? If you observe, okay, now there's the mind or something is this fascination, some people even an obsession to keep on, kind of like to be clean. Suppose someone has an obsession, they always have to be washing their hands, 30 times a day they're washing their hands all the time, in a place where there's little water. And they're having this wash their hands and so on. And then you say to them, but are you aware that you don't, it's not so dirty around here, And they say, yes, but I can't help it. This is compulsive behavior going on and stuff. So, okay, but you are aware of this behavior, no? You don't have to identify. Something is behaving like that. Something is behaving. I'm not going to tell you to stop it. Just saying, just stay as the awareness of that and don't identify that this is what I am doing. Then as soon as you begin to observe something more without being emotionally attached to it, it begins to change. The dynamics, the potency, the virility of that activity changes because it feeds on the person. It feeds on identity. The more you feel it is you, the more it becomes a psychological sort of relationship, and the more it comes a kind of obsession, and you feel locked into it. If you observe the tendency, because everyone has a bit of quirkiness, as you observe it and you begin to discover the power of observing something, you naturally come to feel that there's a distance there. And this distance introduces a deeper space inside you, and your attention will start to love the space more than going to the activity.
Yeah, thanks. There's another thing. I sometimes, for me, a strong desire comes up, and my mind is tempting me to take hallucinogenic plants, and I'm not sure if this would lead to anything good. And if I could cope these, and I wanted to expose that too.
Yeah,
it's very tempting.
you don't need any hallucinogen. Life enough is hallucinogenic as it is. Any further stimulation there. It is understandable because we like to experiment with things. I would not advise you to do that right now. I think you're in a good place to go more deeply into your self-inquiry, but there are going to be some energies that are feel distracting, to pull you off course a little bit. You need to be aware of that, and look like who wants to do that. See if you can actually identify the actual one who wants to do that. I gave an example before, like if we were sitting all together and there was a very strong smell in here, a very decaying smell. And then I said, listen, we need to find out what's that. We need to remove that, whatever that is. And then we send some people, who's the best sniffers in the room. And they all start to go. So and soon somebody's going to find the source of that smell. When you find the source of the smell, then you can say, it's some dead rat, actually. You can get rid of it, okay? So the smell will take you to the source of the smell. In the same way, your experience, like the pull, strong thing to go in this direction, use that smell to take you to who is the one who is suffering it. Like that. Don't just say, I know. Don't follow the mind and say, yeah, I know there's nothing there. That's not the exercise. The exercise is to actually do it, to actually make the steps. Because in actually making the steps to do it, you completely undo it. You see? But if you say, the mind says, yeah, I know the answer to this, and that's not the answer. You actually take the step. This is the power of self-inquiry, is that you actually take the steps. Just like if you're hungry in the night, you go to the fridge. You can't think, there's food in the fridge and satisfy yourself with that thought. You have to physically go and get it. You see what I'm saying? So in the same way, you follow the thought. This thing feels a strong pull is coming up. Like somehow this relationship with the mind has created this sense of neediness or something like that. We all experience that. And it's like, okay, maybe there's nothing in it, but something just wants to do it. You see? And if it is strong and you've experienced where it's led before and you think, I don't want to go there, then you can use it as an inquiry, just to look and see, okay, there's a feeling to go there. Whose feeling really is it? And you stop right there and see if you can identify if there's a tangible person who wants to do it. It seems very naive way of doing something, but it's so powerful. And as you turn your attention to really break things down frame by frame, the power is gone out of it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. So this power for you, I think you should continue to with this type of exercise of observing, learn to observe. I feel part of the reason why we come into states of confusion so often is that we don't inquire into something. We spend so much energy just assuming without actually inquiring into whether something, or discerning whether something is true or not true. And we're carrying a lot of notions inside. They take up space and they have a certain effect also. They sometimes drain your energy by carrying around ideas which are not in service to your truth. And we pick them up just like around the place. We pick them up almost casually. But when it comes time to begin to look a bit into it through inquiry, you start to find that you're burping out all this stuff, like you're doing some kind of spring cleaning, and it's just throwing out all this garbage. And inside there's more lightness, more space, more kind of intuitiveness, and a natural sense of joy is there, I see, like that. So I would keep this up a bit more. Don't turn it into another obsession, but just recognize the efficiency of it, the effectiveness of it, and do. Nobody is harmed by this kind of inquiry. It really introduces you to your own self, if I can say like that. The reflex and the tendency is to go outward with the attention, but it has to go heartward. It has to go in a little bit. Just turning the attention a bit, not looking for anything particularly, but getting used to introspecting the attention, reversing the attention inside, and already you'll feel this is a tree that bears immediate fruits. You don't have to wait for 2 weeks, 3 months. Immediately you start to feel the space. Why? Because the self has no distance. Your pure being has no distance from you except the distance of a thought. There's no distance. You are yourself. But this intuitive knowledge has somehow been replaced or overshadowed by conditioning. And we believe in the conditioning, and they became a kind of secondary reality for us. All this is changing. Another thing, a beautiful thing to remember, is that as you open up somehow, in whatever way you feel, just a sense of opening up, grace plays fundamentally the main role at cleaning out the junk. You become more, just learn to keep quiet. In spirituality, you don't have to be so busy. The most effective is to be quiet and don't go with panic, but observe it more. And so you always find yourself back here, just as presence. Always come back here as presence. Don't be going, it's not over there, you're not over there, you're not over there, you're not up there, you're just here. Just keep bringing the attention back into presence. And always feel that somehow you're always inside the great God. You're always inside, you cannot be outside. This is a very all-encompassing attitude. And it means that when your thoughts start to run, you don't panic so easy, because you have a beautiful paradigm that everything is happening within wholeness, like that. Keep checking in. When you feel a sense I, don't assume it to be a person. Try and look at I from the place of consciousness. If you have, say, for instance, a sense of a problem, I am doing this and this person did this to me. Normally, it's based upon personality and identity, like that. Exchange the same I, say the same I, but exchange the I to be now consciousness and not a person, and see if it doesn't make a difference. Immediately, it makes a difference. So all these things we're talking about, they are not things that you have to go traveling away and live in some cave for. Right here, wherever you are, you can, it's with you, because the self is universal and infinitely present inside your heart, like that. And as soon as you have a choice genuinely inside to discover what is true, so many forces are supporting your discovery. Some force is trying to block this discovery also, but this force is coming from some junk station inside. And easily, if you're persistent, don't just give up. It will wash these things out. They go out. And get used to also the sensation of feeling empty. Get used to it. Don't, because the mind will tell you, oh, you're lost. I don't know where I'm going. It's okay to feel lost. Just feel, even if you say, I am lost, but you're still here. You say, I'm lost, but I'm still here. You cannot be lost from here. And you see, these things slowly corrects. Everything gets corrected. You don't have to learn so many things and study so hard and be, sort of like so hard upon yourself. It's not difficult. Okay. Very good. Very good. Huh? Okay. Good. Okay. Say hello to your mom. Okay. So I feel enough for now for this part of our meeting today. You want to come strongly? Okay, you come. After this, we will just take a break. Some people may want to leave, but we have a second part where I come back and I get a chance to read some of the letters that people write in, and you are very welcome to be here. It's usually very good. Oh, what is this? Spicy food? I like what. Hi, darling.
Hello.
Hi.
I don't have so much to say, but I'm really happy to see
They want you to hear this.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Hello, Mooji.
Hi, darling.
I'm just very happy to see you in live, in person.
Oh, very good.
And I saw you so many times on the internet.
On the internet, so yes.
And all your colors shining so bright, so you gets me really in the heart and soul. Thank you for that.
Okay,
And on my way here, I met a really old man in Lisbon.
Lisbon, yes.
And he asked me to give this presents to you.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I want to see right now.
And he also write a little card.
Acha.
So this is for you.
Okay. Self-portrait. Okay, so it says, Dear Mooji, I give you a box with my self-portrait. And thank you for your love and the silent retreats. Just for you, something sweet. You give your wisdom to each and other. Together we are one. I am your brother. You will see, you are the other me. I wish you a very, very happy life. Santa Claus, ho, ho, ho. I've never seen Santa like this, I have to say. Should I open it? Oops, sorry, no. Okay, not enough to go around, I'm afraid. Put this one down there for me, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So good, so good. Where did you come from? Which place?
From Holland.
From Holland. Yeah, yes. Many come from Holland, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yes, I tell you. Yeah. I have to go there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please.
Yes, I feel that is. Yes.
Actually, I bought the card, just to write you to please come one day to Holland. But then I decided, well, maybe he say no, so I decided to come to you with my card.
Okay.
But if you come to Holland, yeah, I'll be very pleased.
I think it might happen.
With your love.
Yeah. Thank you. We have some music. Anybody is coming to play something? It's a nice feeling with the rain, isn't it? This one? No? This microphone? What are you looking? No.
is the light of this world. It needs to just fully be seen. Bathe in the river of your being. You need not to be anything. Peace and love is your fragrance, but the flower no one can find. Your heart is the light of this world. It needs to just fully be seen. Om Hare 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 Om Hare Om Hare 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 Om Hare Om Hare Hare. Your heart is the light of this world. It needs to just fully be seen. Bathe in the river of your being. You need not to be anything. Peace and love is your fragrance, but the flower no one can find. Your heart is the light of this world. It needs to just fully be seen. Om Hare 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 Om Hare Om Hare 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 Om Hare Om Hare Hare. Hare 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 Om Hare Om Hare 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 Om Hare Om Hare Hare. Your heart is the light of this world. It needs to just fully be seen.
So we'll take a little break now for 15 minutes or so and have some chai and some rain. And come back. Everybody's very welcome to come back and